I'm Tamika D. Mallory.
And it's your boy Mysonne, the General.
We are your host of TMI.
Tamika and Mysonne's information, truth, motivation, and inspiration.
New name, new energy, but
same old us.
What's going on, Mysonne Lennon?
You know what's going on. We out here winning and grinning. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't what it supposed to be. Everybody out here booked and busy doing their thing. You can't tell me that when you look at Instagram, everybody ain't winning.
Not everybody.
But most people, listen, if I was somebody who was less understanding of social media, just less understanding of marketing, promotion, and how people just utilize social media to present an image that's not real, I would believe that I'm doing something wrong. I would think that I was actually losing. I'd be like, damn, everybody got this, they got this and that. But I've actually seen the guys tell someone, let me hold your money, let me hold your chain. Like, I've been the person that they did that. So I understand the game, and I'd be like, damn. But the thing is, these young kids, they believe it. And they say goals underneath their picture, and they try to, make it this fast and click. And if it don't go this fast and it ain't working, they don't understand it. So I'm glad that we're doing this series. This is the second installment of It Ain't What It Supposed to Be, because people is posting shit that don't really be.
Well, I'm thinking that some people are posting what it really is. It's just that they don't dwell on the hard times. And
that too.
And so then it's like you get mixed messages. But as we said last week, a lot of times people be telling you about their hard times, and it's like you just gloss over it. You don't even really hear it. It's like, I don't care about that. So, whatever. It is what it is. I think that the point of the series is to help everybody who is, or people who are like, I'm an entrepreneur. I just did installation of art exhibit. It's beautiful, and nobody knows that I had to use the money that the client gave me to pay the vendors who moved it in and who installed it. I took that money and paid the rent. Right? Nah, not even. Instead of me paying the vendor, I paid my rent, and now I'm on a hustle to find money to pay the vendor before the vendor reaches out to the client to say they never got paid. That's kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah.
And you hustle.
It's robbing Peter to pay Paul.
And like they said, we at the point, my homegirl said the other day, ain't even no more Peter and Paul. We just robbing and paying. There's not even anybody to get it from.
It's literally a Ponzi scheme. Everything is a Ponzi scheme. For real.
Listen, whatever. Anywho, you're
I'm serious. You don't think it's a Ponzi? Just think about it. We literally just described the Ponzi scheme.
No.
Think about it. You take the money, and somebody gives you this money, and you think that they have it, and by the time if everybody asks for their money at the same time, that's when you realize it's a Ponzi.
Well, that's what happened to Bernie Madoff.
That's what happened.
Some people went to Bernie Madoff and said, "Let me hold something." Isn't that what happened to
that's
Bernie?
How you get caught
the people came. Scheme. Everybody asked Bernie for his money around the same time, and he didn't have it.
Because everybody gives you money thinking you got you put your money in the bank, and that's how a bank will close. Because a bank is really a big Ponzi scheme. They're holding your money and making money with your money and replacing and putting back. So when everybody wants their money at the same time.
That's why they have a policy at certain banks that you can't get over like $1,000. I remember one time I walked into a bank where I have money, not the main bank that I use, but I have another bank where I just like stuff a little bit. And I walked into the bank. It's a black-owned bank too. I walked in and I said I wanted I don't know. Let's just say I'm gonna make up a number, $5,000. I don't remember what it was. It was a significant amount of money. And they were like, no, you have to make a reservation. You have to tell them today, and then they call you and tell you when they have it, and you come back and get it. I said, what kind of SHIT is this? You're supposed to be able, if I need to run today, right now, I need to be able to go get my money. My uncle, I still believe, and I'm pretty sure that my cousins have torn up some parts of the ground trying to figure out where the money might be, because he believed in burying cash. He believed in stuffing it in plastic and putting it underground and in other pockets, other places. Now, when he died, he wasn't incoherent to the point where he couldn't talk. Like, I mean, well, maybe when he died, but up until the point of his death, he was still lucid enough to be able to say it's over here or back there, whatever. But he has a lot of property. And depending on whether he felt like telling them or not, they might not know. They may find that stuff, you know, however many years from now. But he did not believe in taking all his money and putting it in one place. I know a lot of people, like, they just do not believe it. Because if I wake up in the morning and the monsters are after me, what are you supposed to do? How do you get your money?
It's a fact.
So,
it's a Ponzi scheme.
But then you can't keep your money in your house because the other scheme is the people come up in there and run your shit.
Like
they
they
take the safe out the door.
They gonna look for it. Once they know you got some money in the house, they coming to get it. These people, it's serious out here, man.
So it's like, it's hard because they have videos online where they show you how to hide the money in your house. Like, well, damn it, if you telling me
then people
to take
see it
the light switch, the case off, and then put it in something and do something and stuff it in there and like, if you telling me that on the internet, then when the people come, they going for the light switches. I mean, what? Damn. But it's people, definitely, they got money stuffed in the wall. There are folks that will not take all their money, especially older people. We have been socialized to use the bank. And matter of fact, we don't even want no money. Most of the people I know, I don't know about you, well, you definitely are like this, because I'm just thinking about how many times we've been in countries across the world and you don't have $5 of cash.
Because I lose cash very fast. Like I've lost this summer. I went somewhere not even far and lost $1,000. It just fell out my pocket. Like, I don't know how to.
But can we talk about? Let's get into why. Okay, this is some of the ignorance in my mind of what men think about having a bag, right? This man refuses to wear the thing across him. He be like, nah, some people, you know, I think they look good in it. And it's cool. I'm not wearing it.
But you know what? They just got this new thing, like a little mini vest. It looks like the little, and it has the two things on the side. It's like a vest.
My son, that don't go with every outfit.
No, you don't gotta wear. You can wear underneath your outfit. You can wear underneath your jacket. It goes with everything. But you think that the satchel goes with every?
Yeah,
outfit?
Because you have to get a brown and a black. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's what I got. A brown and a black.
No, not the vest, bruh.
Why? It's like the little vest. It's like the holster. You know, like the holster that they hold the guns in.
Oh my God.
It's the same thing. It just ain't on. It just don't come across the middle of my chest.
Shout out to the dead homies. It's very shout out to the dead homies. That was last 2 weeks ago.
It looks like a man situation.
You was around here with the shout out to the dead homies thing. Yeah. Anyway, the bottom line is a nice bag, but then you a person that'll put the bag down and won't know where it is.
Exactly. That's why the vest works better for me, because I'm gonna put that on.
Oh my God.
And I'm never gonna take it off. It ain't gonna fall out my pocket. It's gonna be on me all the time, and then.
So you gonna wear the vest every day?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like you wear, like you.
With a sweatsuit?
Yes.
I want to see this.
Yeah, you can wear underneath the sweatsuit. It don't have to be. What I'm trying to tell you, it don't have to be over your clothes. It can be underneath, and it fits tight. You. Let me show you this, because y'all think it's.
Well, I don't want to see it now. So anyway, long story short. I know a lot of people who don't put their money in the bank, but I move around sometimes with $3 cash. Like, I have to find it at the bottom of the bag, and it's not a good thing in this time that we're in. I think I saw a video yesterday where a person won the Publishers Clearinghouse lottery and was getting a $200,000 check every year. The Publishing Clearinghouse folks filed bankruptcy, and these people check, it's gone.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying. That's
you gotta get the lump sum.
That's what happened with the bank, though. Look.
Thank you. It's still. But anyway.
It's perfect.
It's still.
Still what?
There's nothing wrong with the little.
It ain't for me.
That the men be
it's
wearing.
not my thing.
The men, it looks
I
nice.
don't like it. I don't like it.
Anyway. So you have to take the lump sum. Anytime money, if you win the lottery and they tell you you can take home $2 million full, or you could get 2 million or 2.5 million over a certain time. Take the 2 million and run.
Yeah, the banks crashed. People lost their 401k. Like, it was a serious thing.
Bernie them.
Yeah, them people got that money.
Bernie Madoff situation was real. Like, people was ready to kill.
People killed themselves.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
It
just
was
thinking back. I
serious.
got to go back and watch it. That was
Yes,
good.
it was-
People killed themselves. It was all they had. Wow.
Wipe them people out, man.
Let's get to my thought of the day. So, speaking of people's money, Black Friday last week, I talked about this in the thought of the day. We ain't buying it.
A thing.
And this is We Ain't Buying It Part 2. I neglected to mention last week that Target stock dropped a little bit more.
Keep
It's about
on dropping.
$3 more. The stock price dropped. So, it is a continuous decline. They will say, well, it's this, it's the tariffs, it's this, and it's that. But guess what? I looked at some other people's stock. Walmart is up. Costco is up. And yours is a constant decline. And guess what? I'm also not going to allow you, either Target and or other individuals who are naysayers or haters or just scary or whatever they may be, to talk us out of what we know with our own eyes and ears. When I go on social media and I see people who posted a video about how they are grieving their separation from Target, and the comment section, even on my own, is full of folks saying,
That's the thing right there.
what?
That's what y'all should do. Y'all should create a thing to drop a video telling why you're not going to Target.
I know we said that, but did nobody ever do the work? Anyway, so and I see people saying, I ain't going back. I haven't been there since. I don't miss it. I walk past it. You cannot tell me that that's not hurting Target's bottom line.
Of course.
Even if it's only 100,000 people, which over 300,000 people signed up through TargetFast.org. Shout out to Jamal Bryant, right? Over 300,000 people signed up, but there's still more people that ain't gonna sign up. They ain't even know nothing about no TargetFast.org. I didn't even sign up, right? And I know a lot of people who ain't going back to Target. Folks are saying they can't even, their legs don't walk towards Target, right? I saw a person wrote, I think it was actually Jamie, my best friend, who wrote in the comments section that my physical body can't go. I can't get there. Like the ancestors, the spirit is between me and that. And I know some folks ain't that deep. They like, oh, please, the ancestors about Target. What's the big deal? See, that's because you
don't have the connection.
You
to
short-sighted on, and it's okay because we gonna do the work for you, right? We gonna do the work. We gonna make the sacrifice for you. You can't understand that it's a spiritual thing. First of all, there should be a spiritual relationship between you and your money.
That's right.
Hello. There should be a spiritual thing. And guess what? During these here times when we don't have as much of it as we usually have, it's very spiritual. It's very spiritual. How you gonna make it from day to day, and the decisions you have to make, where you gonna put it, where you gonna, how can you hold, how do you hold it? What are the experiences that you need to have? What are some of the things that you're willing to give up? That it's a whole process that goes into the decisions you make around your money. So when you look at a company and say, here, let me preach for a minute. Here is the spiritual component of it. So Dr. Carla Lee's on Instagram. Dr. Carla Lee, I'm in love with her. I just started following her videos the other day. It's called at 3 Little Lee. 3 Little Lee, if you want to find the sister. She was talking about the phases of grief that she has gone through with her separation from Target. And I have to keep reminding people, I know I've said this before, folk probably like, oh my God, she just keeps beating the dead horse. But it's important for the one who didn't hear it, and also for the one who might be feeling like, damn, I did this. I did it for 10 months, 11 months. Now, it's time. I'm ready to get back in there. They got the sales. They got the $5. They doing the $5 meals. They doing all these things to get me back. And it's very convenient for me to go to Target, especially during the holiday season. I don't have as much money. I traveling across town and all of that is so much. It's just not convenient. And it's time, like, for me to be able to go back. Y'all ain't finished with this boycott yet. Like, what's up, right? For those people who and the ones who are like, why not this one and why not that? She talked about the steps of grief. And she said, first of all, her separation from Target wasn't a boycott. It was a breakup. So she was done. But there is a reason why. And it was in the comment section several times where they were saying, Target is like the man who promised you he was different. And you committed to him because you believed that he was going to be different. He was going to do things differently. And then he broke your heart. And now, I not only am I leaving you, I'm moving different from the choices that I make in men going forward. And it is truly a testament to why the relationship with Target was very different. Michelle Obama named them Target, and people went there and had, in some ways, a spiritual relationship with their money, not with Target, but with their money, that this is a place that I can go to. I get out my car with or without my kids, and I'm away from. In fact, I don't know if people realize, but in a lot of Targets, when you go inside, the service cuts off. You know that? Like, you can't use your cell phone. You might find a spot here or there, but a lot of times when you go through the parking lot and you go inside, you can't use your phone. So you're inside of this place, and things that you don't necessarily even need, but it makes you feel good. A little this and a little that, a little trinket. Oh, let me put these pillows up. Oh, I can change my towels for the holiday. I can get a car. Oh, man, it's so-and-so birthday. Let me get this card while I'm here. Let me try this new product. Like, this is the experience that people were having with their money there. So when you could tell me, oh, well, what about all these other companies? But I didn't have that experience with so-and-so. I don't have that experience with Meta. I don't have that experience with such. I use these people as an ends to a mean. This is what Dr. Lee said. I use Meta as an ends to a mean. I need to get a message out. It gets out. That's it. But when I went into Target, it was a different vibe. It was a different feeling. And when the CEO said that this could have been my son, speaking about what happened, or no, he didn't say that. When the CEO said this could have been one of my employees, like, that really resonated with folks. It pulled people closer. It's like, man, this is my spot. So when they sided with and went along with the bigotry that is of Donald Trump and his administration, it hurt people in a different way. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud of us that detached, and it's almost a year. It's almost 1 year. I have not stepped foot in a Target. I walk past it, and I see Black people coming in and out, and I don't get mad. I pray for them. I pray that they will either be touched and or that the work that we're doing is going to uplift them and help them, whether they stop shopping at Target or not. It will at least inspire them to say, damn, there's some people out here who are sacrificing and really fighting for me. And now that we've partnered with other folks, Home Depot is on the line, Amazon, of the specific Black Friday through Cyber Monday, it's for us, for We Ain't Buying It. It's the folks that We Ain't Buying It. Shout out to our sister Latasha Brown and the whole family, Cliff Albright at Black Voters Matter. And there's a bunch of folks, 5051. Those are some of the most powerful organizers and young people that I've ever worked with. God bless them. It's amazing to be with them. You got the folks at Indolon that are managing Palmyra, Figueroa. I will get myself in trouble. You got the Evan and them from the Tesla boycott. You've got people, Nalini and WFP on Home Depot also. You've got folks on Spotify. I mean, the list goes on and on of people who have come together like Voltron to say that we're going to watch where we put our money, especially in this season. This season should be about giving, but not the gift of giving gifts that you're picking up from these big box companies that have too much money and not enough respect for our communities. What we should really be doing is giving of our time, giving of our service, giving of our aid, and giving of our resources to small businesses who hire our people, who love our people, who come from our people. And that's what I'm all about. So we ain't buying it. We ain't buying it. And y'all, some people gonna do Target, Home Depot, and Amazon. I'm finna do everything I can do through the whole holiday season, and I'm not waiting to start on Black Friday. I done already started. I've been buying essentials, things that I absolutely have to have, and I'm gonna take it as long as I can. And that's just where we at. And that means beyond holiday for me. I don't need it. It's in my closet. I went to shop for this is the last thing I'll say. I went to shop. I had a week of stuff, and I needed to find some tights because it's winter. You need tights again, ladies. And I also needed like a couple little things just to kind of sprinkle on this. You pull out your winter stuff from last year, and you like, man, this got lint on it. This got this going on. So I was like, let me get a couple of things. And while I was in the store, I got anxiety. I started sweating. It has nothing to do with a boycott. So that's not the story for people who are like, oh, please. But I just started getting anxiety. I just started feeling uncomfortable in the store. I started getting hot, which is perimenopause. That is, whoo! But I started getting hot and just feeling away. And I made the joke. I said, you know what it is? The Lord said, girl, it's in your closet. That's why you feel all this anxiety. It's not at the store. You have anxiety in the middle of Bloomingdale's right now, and it ain't got nothing to do with you ain't sick. Nobody's doing anything to you. There's nothing wrong with you. The reason why you have anxiety is because it's in your closet already, and you need to go over there and shop in that stuff you already have. Them 2 shirts that look exactly the same because it got lint on one, go get the other one. That's exactly, and that's what I'm doing. And I don't feel bad.
Why should you? I mean, at this point, you have brought more clothes than I've probably seen anybody in the world buy. And
that is not true.
Okay.
That is not true. You cannot say that when your friends include Miss Diddy, Candace Grace. You can't say that.
Buy the same amount of clothes as
No,
Diddy?
that's not. Never.
What do you mean?
Never.
When do
Diddy,
not?
no way. You cannot say that when Jennifer Williams is your friend.
All those
Do you know how many clothes Jennifer Williams buys?
Listen, every time I hear you saying, oh, I'm going shopping, I need to buy this, I'm in this store, this and that, you'll call for a Zoom call in the middle of shopping somewhere. Like, this is what you do. So,
no, not anymore.
Okay.
I
Whatever
changed
you
my
say.
ways.
You had 3 or 4 stylists that always convince you to buy 2 or 3 or 4 things, and then they bringing you this, and then you go shop. Like, I mean, listen, you do what you want to do. But when I'm just trying to say, the Lord told you it's in your closet.
It's in your closet.
So
that is the thought of the day. I don't think I gave a good thought of the day. You know what my thought of the day is today, y'all? Very simple. It's in your closet. Shop in your closet because we ain't buying it. We ain't buying it this holiday season. We ain't buying it, and it's already in your closet. So all you got is not only is it in your closet, it's in your storage room. You know where else it is? It's definitely in your storage room. It is in your attic. It's in your basement. It's at your mama's house, okay? It's in the bottom of the barrel. It's down there. It's in the back of the closet. It's in the shoe boxes that are stacked up to the top of the closet in the row behind that you have not seen in years. The styles are coming back. The wide jeans and pants are coming back. The shoes with the wide heel is back. It's in your closet. You already have it. So you don't even need to buy anything. The Christmas decorations, not from the last year, because you like to change up. Okay, cool. But the ones from about 3 years ago that you still have that's in the container, go get those Christmas ornaments. Mix it with a little bit of stuff from the year before and the year year after and you got a completely new design around your house. You already have it. You already have plates for the dinner for Thanksgiving. You already have everything you
All
need.
the things.
It is in your closet. That's the thought of the day. Go shopping with the stuff you already have. Y'all girls know y'all got stuff with tags on it. Quit. We don't need to buy nothing. And guess what? We ain't buying it. All right, so that brings us to the TMI, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm finna pass out on the ground after doing this little bit of research. This TMI is called Not the Kitchen You Think. We started figuring out little titles for our segments now. This is a new thing. I love it. It's Not the Kitchen You Think. So, did you know
What?
that you do not have to own a restaurant to sell food on Uber Eats? So you don't have to have a restaurant. Now, you still have to have a license, but you could be selling the food out your house and then put it on Uber Eats.
So people out their kitchen. But how would you get a license? So they give you a license for
Well,
your
people have businesses.
So people
that
have business in
function
their
out
house. So yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so well, it's still a business though. So that means that they have to go through the process of inspection. If you got a food handling,
they don't even do the inspections in New York City. I know the inspections dropped by like 60% since COVID. So people are just starting to get their updated grade. A lot of people at the end of COVID had grade pending or low grades, and they were waiting for the new grades to come. So, they fixed whatever the problem was, and they didn't get it for years. And I'm telling you, there's actual articles out there that shows that there was at least a 60% drop in inspections. So you think they go into people's houses often?
I don't know. I'm
With
just
the cat
saying,
that lives there?
I really don't know. I'm just saying, if you're saying that you can have a food handler's license, right? I think it's like somebody who has a truck, right? There's people that sell their food out of a truck.
A truck is worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they have people that order the food for the truck.
I know a couple
Uber
trucks
Eats,
that's really clean.
Yeah,
though.
Uber Eats orders from trucks. People can go to like trucks that are stationary. People order, they have Uber Eats. You ain't with it?
Mysonne, let me help you understand
That
the
you ain't
problem
with it.
here, okay? I want you to understand this.
That you ain't with it?
People have weird ways about their homes.
And
I'm not saying they don't have weird ways about the restaurant, because restaurant could be worse than the house, to tell you the truth. But in a restaurant, you want to assume that there's checks and balances in the kitchen, because you're going to have multiple people. You got an owner. You got different people who are in there. You supposed to have somebody that might be cleaning up. In people's homes, when their cat runs across the thing, nobody inspecting it can see whether or not you're allowing your pet to eat off the spoon that is just over there, that the cat is tasting it up real quick.
They can't do that in a restaurant either.
What do you mean? In your house, if the animal lives there already?
They got cats inside the restaurant.
Oh, no. Oh, Mysonne, which restaurant do you go to that the cat is a daily resident? Now, that's them delis that y'all eat from.
Yeah, they go there.
Y'all be bugging. My son be like, Mom,
The deli got the best food.
Child, let me get off of this thing. It's TMI for me, but maybe y'all think it's okay, but I need to know that there is a building, and I want to pray, because I know you could be in a building and the house is upstairs, the roaches and this and that and the third. Listen, even me, I'm not even talking about nobody else, right? I'm a very, very, very clean person. But when I cook something in my house for myself, I might taste it in between. I'm doing different things, right? I change the way that I cook when I'm taking it outside into the world. I just don't trust everybody cooking in their house. I just don't. I just don't. You don't care. My son don't care about stuff like that. He like, what you say all the time?
I was in prison, man. I don't know what it was dudes inside the mess hall that was cooking, that was in the mess hall that I wouldn't really even talk to. You didn't have to have no handler's license. They put you in the mess hall, and them people was in there cooking. And there was times I had to eat there, and I survived. I slept on floors. I survived.
You not in jail anymore?
I'm not, but I understand. What I'm trying to tell you is when you have survived, when it was just basic survival, or the shit that the average person would be like, had to turn their nose up to, your level
Why
of
does it
sensitivity.
have to be turning your nose up?
Because I'm saying people would look and be like, I'm not eating that. That's what I mean. It's like, oh, I'm not eating that. Like, there's no way I'm eating that. And it was nice that you were so hungry, you had to eat that. And when you ate that and you survived and you was actually healthy, right, you start saying to yourself, there's nothing that I can put past anything. There's nothing that I look and say, oh, I can't do that. In the right situation, I understand that most of us will eat what we have to eat to survive. So
but I don't eat to survive.
That's something, but I eat to survive.
I don't eat to survive.
Yeah, I don't.
I eat for enjoyment.
Yeah,
I eat for experience, and I eat for nourishment,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
survive
saying, I eat
off
for
of.
nourishment.
But that's not the only reason why
Yeah,
I eat.
because I'm hungry. I don't be like, you know what, I just want to taste this new food. I'm not.
Yeah.
You're a food.
I'll go to like 3 restaurants.
Yeah.
Everybody knows when you say you want to go out with me. And I want to know the name of the restaurant that we just learned about. The brother's name is Omar. I asked the ladies in the hair salon. I said, "Oh my God!" And I went to this great Jamaican restaurant and from Omar's Kitchen, and they said, "You just found out about Omar's Kitchen?" I said, "What you mean?" I did not know. I love Jamaican food. I didn't know this brother has clean. The kitchen is clean. The food is tasty.
Yeah.
It's all good. So but I probably have 5 restaurants that I go to in my life. Because I'm very afraid. I'm really, really afraid to eat people's food.
I'm not.
But do me a favor. Don't bring it to me. Don't give it to me. Don't order it. Don't bring it to the potluck.
I don't even
either.
talk. That's what. Listen, I don't even like suggest restaurants or anything. Like we be together and she'll be like, "Hey guys, where you want to eat at?" And she'll like, "Where you want?" I'd be like, "Wherever." She'll be like, "Well, you can't choose anything." I'd be like, "No, because I know that you're way more picky than I am, and I don't want to have somewhere you be like, this place is terrible. I don't even know." And you'll do that. So why would I put myself through that? It just doesn't make sense.
I'm backing up. I gotta go. Listen, our guest that's coming up right now, Dr. Shaunell Robinson Kennard, is going to talk to us about her institute. She has a beauty institute. She's from Atlanta. She's dope, but she got something else going on with her accent, so we got to check on that. But I've been watching videos of her, and she is kind of like the epitome of it ain't what it's supposed to be, because her story, when you start getting into a beauty business, cosmetics, construction company, all these different things that she's
Real
done.
estate, it's a lot.
Real estate, a lot of things that she's done. But when you start getting into her story and the weeds, the weaving in and out, sometimes on her videos, I see her talking about it, but it does not in any way sound like what the actual experiences have been. And so she's coming up right now. We're going to get into a conversation about this idea that it ain't what it's supposed to be. The rise through success takes a lot of dips and down moments. All right, so as we continue with this series, it's not what it supposed to be. It's not what it POS to be. We are talking to individuals who have climbed the ladder to success. And when you look at their social media platforms, they look good doing it. But there's a story that always comes before the breakthrough. Right. And today we have an opportunity to talk to Shaunell Robinson Kennard, who is a serial entrepreneur. This young lady has a school, right? It's a beauty school. Aesthetic school.
Yes.
Coil Beauty Institute. And then there's products involved. There's a whole bunch of things. And then also a construction company. How those two entities align, I don't know, but I bet you there's a story in it. So we're excited to hear from Shaunell Robinson Kennard today. Thank you for joining the TMI show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So tell, I just want to know about Saint and Savage. Explain to me, because I love the idea of it. You know, it just shows the duality, but explain to me what it means and how did you come up?
Saint and Savage is one of your brands.
Yes.
Right, okay.
It is like, so I'm in school for theology.
Okay.
And so I have 6 college degrees. I am
Come on
Like
now.
my sister Sharon, honey. Y'all goes
that's
to college.
that's what we want to do. I'm gonna graduate in everything.
In
I don't
everything.
care what it is. I have the biggest imagination in the world. So I said, if I think I want to do it, I try it. I don't have anything that I've ever said I want to do that and didn't see it out. I may not have liked it, but I have a degree for it for sure. But Same Time Savage is something that I created in the process of getting a divorce, but then finding God. So I loved God before I got married, but sometimes when you marry someone that doesn't love God, it takes you away. So I found myself always at Bible study, always at church, doing those things. And then the more I was into my relationship, the more I stopped doing some of those things. So you kind of drift away. So when divorce comes, the only person you have to lean on is God. So I brought myself back. But I was like, this is a story that I have to tell. And I used to work in a strip club and I used to cuss a lot, all these different things. So that's the savage part. But it doesn't mean I don't love God. It doesn't mean I don't know him. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't love me either. It just means there's a time frame or there's times and moments in life where I may not have been the best. But because of his grace, he allows me to come back and do it over again every single day. So just because I've acted like a savage don't mean I can't be a saint.
Come on now.
Is
love
being
that.
a saint a real thing?
No, because we're never perfect,
Right.
right? So I just try to tell people I don't ever make the same mistake twice. So if I made the mistake on Monday, I'm not going to make that mistake on Tuesday. And the more you get into the word of God, the more you convict yourself. You feel conviction. So you're like, oh, I can't do that again. That wasn't okay. So it's okay to make mistakes because we're human. That's called growing. That's called evolving and elevating. But you can't keep making those mistakes. That's when it's like, you know better. So then do better, actually.
So you use the word mistakes, and I know I've made some mistakes, but also sometimes you just make bad choices,
Yeah.
right? And I always have to try to differentiate the difference between the
Yeah.
two, because a mistake is definitely something that I feel like, you should probably be forgiven for if you repent properly.
Correct.
But sometimes we just make bad decisions.
'Cause that's what you wanted to do.
Because it's exactly what you wanted to do.
In that moment, that is what you wanted to
But
do.
you're saying don't keep doing it if you really are wanting to be your best self.
Correct. Because I tell people you have to be more like Christ. Like, I don't want to be a Christian because Christians make mistakes. I try to be more like Christ. So if I know I did something wrong because of a poor decision that I made in that moment, then I have to make better decisions because now I have inventory to go off of. I say, oh, you did that wrong yesterday, Shaunell. You raised your voice. You didn't walk away. Whatever it was, today you cannot let those pressure points or those same things get you disheveled and ruffled, because it's like you're not growing if you're doing that. You're allowing yourself to stay beneath the person that you want to be. I'm trying to get somewhere, so I can't act crazy. So for me is my mouth and my attitude. I will rip you apart with some words, but I do better every day. Now I don't. I just walk away.
Well, I'm working on that.
Are you
It's a
from
process.
Louisiana?
Yeah, I was about
New
to say
Orleans.
what's
I
behind
can tell she was
that.
New
Yeah.
Orleans.
I was
I
gonna
knew it was.
ask you
I knew it was New Orleans because I know that. I'm starting to get good with the accents.
Yeah.
So, what led you into entrepreneurship and community work? What made you want to do that?
Well, I was in school to be an accountant. So I have an accounting degree and a business management degree from Georgia State, 2 of the 6. And so my first job interview, and I won't say their name because I don't ever like to tell my story and bash other people. I just like to tell my side of a story. I went to this really big accounting firm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I made it all the way up to the last interview where you have to then interview with the partners and different stuff. And the guy said to me, let's talk about your offer letter over dinner. And I said, well, I don't want to go to dinner. And at that time, my son was really small. I had my son when I was 15. So I didn't have a babysitter. There's no baby daddy around. There is one, but that's a whole nother story. So I'm like, I don't even have a babysitter and I can't even afford to pay a babysitter at that time in life. So, sir, I really can't go to dinner with you. But he was like, well, I don't know if you're going to get the offer if you don't make it to dinner. I said, well, I don't need to offer a dinner. And so I walked out. So I would always hear that corporate America, you know, the guys like to sleep with the women and that's how they get promotions. But for that to be my first experience, before I even, you know, walked through the door to clock in or anything, I knew that that wasn't for me.
The women be sleeping with the men too, child.
Yeah, but you know, for me, I didn't want that to be the way that I obtained success, because then if I don't sleep with the next one, then I don't get the job. So I didn't want that to be my story. And so I kind of felt like God was saying, this ain't what you're supposed to do. I didn't know what I was supposed to do, but I knew that wasn't it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing taxes. I was really good in accounting, doing balance sheets, doing P&L statements and all of that. So I started doing that for people. So when you have an accounting degree, you know, people trust you with certain stuff. So I started doing that. And then I created my company. Literally a year later, I created my company.
The beauty company.
The beauty company.
Coil Beauty.
Well, actually, no. I created a company called Conceited Inc., which is still to date the company that has made the most money for me in my whole life. I got rid of it because it was a big court thing and all that. And we'll talk about that a little later probably. But I used to do shoes. So I used to be a shoe designer. That was my first company, and it was called Conceited Shoes Inc. Bunch of inventory, a bunch of stuff, spent all this money, went to China, all these things, made them, and nobody bought them because I didn't have a marketing plan. I didn't know who my target market was. I knew nothing about business. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I tell people I made the mistake so that then I can teach people how to do it right. So I've been in business for the last 15 plus years. So I've helped over 10,000 women and men start their businesses. I've taken over 1,000 and some people to China before it became a thing. In 2011, 12, nobody was going, you know, but now it's a thing. Everybody's jumping on the airplane, which is great because that means the world is evolving. But I have literally started people's companies with my eyes closed. And so it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
That's great. I love it. I love that for you, that you're like a trailblazer, a young mother who is still a trailblazer, and you didn't necessarily have to, or didn't have to travel through the corporate channels to get there, because we often hear stories of people who tried your route and it just did not work, you know, for various reasons. They don't have the income to put the capital behind their own business ideas. They don't have the business. We were just talking before we started today about people not being professional. Yeah. So what are some of the tools that you think you had that you use to be able to build in ways that other people are unable to accomplish?
You first have to have a whole lot of faith. Being an entrepreneur is hard. It is not pretty. It is not glamorous. The 30 seconds is that we post on social media, right? You can get a cute 60 seconds, but behind the scenes of this thing is a lot of... It ain't what it's supposed to be. It ain't what it's supposed to be. You are crying sometimes. You are frustrated. You are spending everything that you have. I spent everything that I had to start my business, and I didn't know what I was doing. I reached out to people who were business owners, and they said, no, because you a hustler. I know you're a hustler. You're going to outdo me, so I don't want to help you. Wow. So my road into entrepreneurship was hard, and it was a bunch of closed doors. But when I was 15, they told me to drop out of school and just get a GED because I've messed my life up. I've always pushed through. So when you tell me I can't, me and God about to show you just how much I can. And he's going to make sure you watch me surpass you. That's how I feel about it. You know, but being an entrepreneur, you got to have money. And you don't have to have a lot of money, but people be saying I started my business with $50. I don't know what business you start with $50. In 2025, you need a marketing plan. You need to know your target market, and you need to have some capital. Because the first day you open does not guarantee you any sort of sale, any sort of customer, unless you some sort of major celebrity already. But regular people.
Right. And so some people we know, they had to press up T-shirts. They had a little design. They pressed up T-shirts. But the point still remains that they use that as a way to build capital for the bigger business idea. They did not take $50 down to the bank and open it and say, oh, we going to start. This business is now going to be, a big old $1 million company. It doesn't work like that. You have
No.
to build from somewhere.
You have to flip and flip and flip
Flip
the
and
money.
flip.
So they don't tell you how many times they flip. You could have started it with that $500, but how many times did you flip that 500? It didn't go from 500 to $1 million. That's not the steps. So I think the world, and I love social media because I make a lot of money on that, but it misleads people who are trying to currently get into business, making them believe
That's
that
so easy.
it's one flip. No, it's 8,000 flips.
Wow.
That happened.
8,000. I
Your
thought you were going to say 8.
no, 8,000 flips. And then your lights are about to go off at your own house.
Still
Your
after
car-
8,000 flips?
In the middle of the 8,000 flips. I always
There's a
tell
level
people.
of insanity that comes with entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
you have
but-
to believe. It's like when I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's like watching Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, right? And when you see that, and people don't realize that's really what success in entrepreneurship it really looks like. You sleeping in the floor, you really invested everything that you have into something.
And then you have to believe it, and you have to be willing to do it and not make any money, because you don't know when your breakthrough is gonna come in entrepreneurship. It's not you. I can walk into my building. I own my building. I tell people I like ownership.
And this
I
is
don't
all
like
in
renting.
Atlanta, so you
It's
out
in
of New
Atlanta.
Orleans.
Yeah, I've been in Atlanta 21 years.
Okay.
But you have to go in there. You scared. You're broke, you're hungry, you're sleep deprived,
everything.
but you still have to show up every day because we don't get a paycheck. So we don't know.
We
I
are
can
the paycheck.
I can go to work and work all day, be in my store all day, and not one customer can walk in. That's the life of an entrepreneur. But one day, customers are going to come in, and if you have a great product and if you have great customer service, then they're going to tell somebody who's going to tell somebody who's going to tell somebody.
That's consistency,
So
too.
that's the thing. What I do with my business, I'm really consistent. If I mess up, because sometimes I do, I'm quick to apologize. How can I fix it? Some customers, they
Customer
just want to
service.
have a problem.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it works because this is all I have. I don't have a backup plan. I don't have a way out. I have to be able to provide for me, and now I have a grandbaby. So me, my grandbaby,
How old
you
is your
know,
grandbaby?
she's 3.
Yes.
And,
Oh, my granddaughter's
and so
3.
my son is 25 now. So it's like I still have humans that I'm responsible for. In entrepreneurship, I love it. I would not trade entrepreneurship for the world, but you have to be built for it.
Do you come from a family of entrepreneurs, or are you the first person that
My-
your mother and father were entrepreneurs?
My mother is a nurse. My dad was an entrepreneur, though. He's the
Okay.
only entrepreneur that I saw at the time. But a lot of my uncles owned like restaurants and were into real estate.
Okay.
But
you
my
got it.
dad used to own back in the day, I would call it like the Foot Locker. So you know how you have the freestanding storefronts of sneakers and stuff with it? That's what he used to do. And so that's where I went to work with him every day. But he was there all day. And sometimes he would be cussing. Sometimes he would be slamming the register. And I would just, as a kid, you don't know what's happening. Now I fully understand what was happening. He was going through the process of being an entrepreneur. Some days we'll be there all day. One customer will walk in, but no sales. But you still was there. That light, that rent have to be paid, and all these different things.
The brick and mortar.
Yeah,
You said you own a building,
yeah.
and so now you've got it figured out for the most part, because it's still
little bit.
you still flipping.
She said, "Look,
Still in
little
the
bit.
8,000 flips.
Well, so when I had it figured out, when I thought I had it figured out, my divorce slapped me in my face. I had to get out of that space, you know, and I don't think he's a bad person, but I was at the wrong address. And so I built
In the
my
marriage?
business in
Or
my marriage.
You got to go back and with
In
that.
my
You was
marriage.
in the address. What kind of
That
why
was
did
the
you-
wrong address, y'all.
So what happened? What happened with the divorce? What happened with?
Well, so I've been married 4 times.
Okay.
Let's just say I never asked God about nobody. But it's really tricky to ask God, should you get married, if somebody asks you to marry them. Right? So I tell people, it's not that simple. But he showed me all kind of signs before leading up to that you don't want to do, because the world tells you, get a husband, get the house, the picket fence, the kids, and a dog. That's what the world tells you. So when I was young, I always saw the women that were married, their life was easier than the women who were not. So I said, you know what? I'm getting me a husband. So whenever I would get a boyfriend, I am the best girlfriend in the world. You hear me? Baby, I'm getting this husband up out of here.
Right.
Around care what you're talking about, whatever, because I never tell him no. So it's really tricky to not like me. Well, now it might be because I have a lot of standards, but before the standards, before God and all those things, because like now I don't have sex, so I want to, but if you're not my husband, I can't do it. So what are we doing? So it's trickier now, but before.
You don't think that's like a setup right there?
What do you mean?
Well, I think to say that you're not my husband, we not having sex, right? Well, there's a goal that a man is trying to reach. So he can be this perfect person, right, just to actually get to a goal. And then you don't actually really know the person that you into or you're actually with. And then I think it might set up for another failed relationship. This is just my personal opinion.
Maybe.
Because a lot of women have certain standards. Like if you have a thing and you tell a man, oh, you know what, I'm not having sex until this happens. If the man's goal is to have sex with you, he's just physically attracted to you. You like you said, you're a perfect type of person. You're not giving him no pushback. You're just a good person. You're lovable. When he accomplishes the goal, right? Does that mean that, you don't know if he actually loves you or if he did that to get to the goal?
Well, in Atlanta,
I've seen situations like that.
Well, so I'm not against it, but I'm against it to a certain point.
Okay.
In Atlanta, everybody touching on everybody. Okay?
You say everybody touching on everybody. On this show, we say everybody fucking on everybody.
Well,
She
yeah,
don't cuss. She said
I
she
wasn't.
don't
I'm
cuss.
trying not to
you don't
cuss,
cuss.
right? But no, I
that
cuss.
ain't why people
no,
You be cussing?
No, I used to cuss
It's
too much.
seminary. But to say that seminary,
No, she's trying to do
I understand
better.
that, but that ain't got nothing to do
No,
with going to
that-
seminary.
It don't got nothing to do with it. Believe me, it's a discipline thing that I'm
Yeah,
trying to
no, I
work on
respect
because
that.
I
I respect
cuss
that.
You
My-
from
too
Nolan,
much.
so you was cussing.
Yeah.
You-
Oh,
yeah, you
it's
was
bad,
cussing.
and it's still in me, and it's not deep in me.
And you said
It's
you-
right here.
You said you know how to say that. You say some things.
Some
that
real
says-
cuss, but you know how to cuss somebody out real good.
It's bad.
It's bad.
But we worked on it,
worked
and
on it.
I'm still a work in progress.
That's
So
right.
it's not perfect, but I just feel like nobody gets to know each other. I'm real cute. You hear me? My
go.
confidence is up
the
there.
roof.
That I don't need nobody to confirm it. But because of that, somebody's gonna ask me on a date. But then after they've taken you on 2 dates, now they want you to be at their house. Well, sir, what I'm doing at your house?
That's right.
And you cannot come to my house. Because so I keep a track of how many men try to talk to me. It's just like a thing that I have. It might be corny, but it's a thing that I have.
Okay.
In 2025, 76 men have asked me for my phone number. 76.
Already. And we ain't even.
We in
We ain't
November. We
finished.
almost at the
We
end. I
almost
might
at
get
the
to 100.
You might get to
90 something for sure. Because if I go to a party or something, it's 8 or 9 in that party, right? But out of all those men, I went out on a date with 5.
Okay. That's a good ratio. I ain't
Decent.
mad at it. Yeah, that's
Decent.
not bad at that.
But inside of that 5, I'm trying to figure my life out. And successful. One may have been a doctor. One was a lawyer. One did finance. I'm not going out with the person that say I'm trying to figure it out. I'm 41. Baby, if you ain't got a plan, you can't lead me without a plan. I want a man that I can submit to, that can lead me. I can get in the passenger seat, and whatever he's working on, he can give it to me, and I can help him multiply that. So if you 50 years old talking about I'm still trying to figure it out, you can't get my phone number. It's bills over here. And it's commercial property over here, multiple, and there's multiple residents. Baby, you can't come over here. You need somebody to rub on. And I would have to get up and go to work and feed you. That's not the plan for me. But out of those people, I'm never getting married, but I'll get you a ring. Let's not. So what am I sleeping with you for? You get what my end goal is to find an amazing husband that I can team up with and do great things.
So
in
you're
the
not
world.
gonna have sex until you get married, or
Well,
when
just
you realize
until
that
I
this
feel
person
like
is.
this can be my
That's
person.
fine. I think
Okay.
that's
Right.
good.
Okay, that
So
was different for me.
It's not
Because she said until I get married.
well
Yeah,
until
yeah.
I can say that me and this person is on a road that we are moving toward being married. You get what I'm saying?
But I think that's great.
Yeah,
I like that.
Don't listen to anything my son is saying.
No, I did.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
I'm just trying to tell you
because
I know
asking a good question.
Men always want to understand that. I'm not saying it's gonna be until I get married, right? That's kind of unreal. It can probably happen. I don't know what day or time it's gonna be, but it's gonna be
on your terms
when, because you feel comfortable. So I had a man that I met, and let me tell you, these men come in hot, baby. They come in. My friends call it the grand presentations. That's what the men give me. The grand presentations. But then after the presentation, there's no execution. So you come in with all these things. Because when I go somewhere, I'm putting me some clothes on. So you're gonna look at me, and you're gonna look at me twice. Don't give me a little weave, baby. Oh, it's over with. Yeah. Give me a little bust down middle part. It's over with. But then they come, and then they don't have no future planned out. So where's your future? The doctor said, I'm going to just do this till I get tired. I said, well, what else you going to do? He wanted me to be off at 5 o'clock. Not as an entrepreneur. I have night classes at my school. I have to teach those classes a couple days a week. Oh, I need a wife that's going to cook me dinner every day. I'm not her. So why am I touching you? Why am I letting you kiss me? You get what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you're a bad man. I'm just not the wife for you, because my school is what I have. This is what you're coming into. So, and then he said, well, you have to quit it. I said, well, give me $10 million. I'll sell my building and a school right now.
You ain't gonna do it.
That's unrealistic.
I can look at you and see you gonna do something else.
I'm gonna still get a part of it, but I said, well, okay, but I told him, I said, this is what I make. Because people scared of the finance word. I was just talking to somebody in there about, she was scared to ask the man how much he made. I said, there's a certain standard of care that I provide for myself as a human. I'm going to put it all on the table. Sir, you want to know my credit score? Let me pull it up. You want to know the things that I have figured out in life at the age of 41? Let me display those things to you. But I want to know. Huh?
It's a little rough. A man gonna be intimidated. Most men are intimidated.
They are,
right?
but
because they sit there.
This
and
what I
like,
do.
Damn, this is. But it's good because at least you know that whoever is not intimidated by this is prepared and is somebody that God sent for you. Because that's a lot for the average man is trying to find someone that he loves, and a lot of men want to feel in control. It's going to be hard for a man to feel like he's in levels of control.
Not true. Control it, baby. Control it. I can't wait.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
For you to control it.
But the average, most women, right? Even when you look at successful couples, like when you look at power couples, most of the power couples, the women have a level of power that's, even when you look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? This is a classic power couple. Jay had to take a step back to realize that his wife has a level of power that he doesn't.
Well, he said it in one of them songs. I was listening to the lyrics of one of his songs where he talks about having to step back and let her
realize
be the one.
That this woman is more pop, and that's a lot. And even though, I don't know the dynamics of their personal life, but that's something humbling for a certain individual who's been powerful, who's been so dominant in every other aspect of their life. So you're probably meeting these doctors that the average woman is meeting, like, oh my God, he's a doctor. I'm going to marry him. And you saying, listen, what is your plan after that? Because I got this and that. He's looking like, what? What's going on? And I need you up at 5 o'clock. Well, I can't do that. You got 10. So all of these things.
You got 10 million.
It's going to be a little
you
rough.
heard that.
Well, I'm just saying, when you ask me to let my career go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? I have, between my collective businesses, 7 figures a year that is generating.
Talk about this. Tell us about
at
these
least
collective.
3 to 5 years. Give me 3. Let's go with 3.
I want you to tell us about how construction became a part of your portfolio when you were in beauty, and then education is a part of the beauty. It's not just the products. It's also you got a lot of things.
Ooh, this lady's serious.
But I think it's intriguing.
Cause you get 24 hours. So I tell people I make the most out of it. So if God gave it to me, let's go for it. Let's run with it. And he give me so many balls, and he like, Shaunell, let me see what you can do. I'm gonna show up and show out. But I was in beauty. I was in, Conceited Shoes Inc. was a shoe company. And then it failed because I ain't had no customers. I still have some of them shoes from 15 years ago. But I turned it into, then I dropped the word shoes and turned it into a beauty brand. I was back in the day getting eyelash extensions, and the lady was charging me $300-$400 for these eyelash extensions. I say, well, can you teach me how to do this? Because I've spent all of my money on this business, and now I need to be able to take care of myself. Again, I have a son. I cannot wait around and not have lights for that boy. That boy has to eat, all those things. I was the responsible person for that. So she literally taught me how to do the eyelashes in my living room. She was like, I'm gonna charge you $4,000. At that time, I ain't even had a $4,000, but it was 3 men that liked me at the time. I asked all 3 for the $4,000, and they gave it to me. So I don't know which $4,000. I had an argument with my ex-husband one time. He was like, I gave you money for the lashes. I said, you plus 2. And I don't know which one of y'all $4,000
You
actually gave to her, because the rest I paid my bills with.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't believe it. Mind your business. We was dating, sir. Don't judge me. I needed help, and I asked for it, and I received it. But long story short, that business, within 6 months, I was booked up for a month.
For lashes.
For eyelash extensions.
Do you still do them?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that just kills me when the girls
When the
stop
good
doing the
girls
stuff
do
that they was doing.
Tamika empty
Well-
a piggy bank for you.
Well, the
Because
thing...
if you do makeup and hair, you go.
The thing
Make it
about
best
it is now I teach other people how to be great at it. So I can't use an hour and get, now they're only spending $125 for eyelash extensions. I can't do that. I charge $5.25 an hour for people to talk to me. So I don't want to go and make the $125 if I don't have to.
They doing these lashes?
Will
'Cause in
I
New York,
ever?
It's $300.
Yeah, but see, that's New York. So in Atlanta, you have to think about it. We was $300-$400 back in the day, 15 years ago when I started. Now on every corner, there's eyelash extensions. So you got to now do a special $80 full sets, $60.
That's not for you.
Not at this point in life, but if I ever, and I mean if God say I ever have to go back and do that, I'm signing up for it. And I can't wait to say it, because whatever season I'm in, I accept that season for whatever it is. So I tell people, I'm never going to say I'm never going to do it again. I prefer God to not take me back to where I have to do it again. But if so, let's run, and I'm going to call you.
Yeah, and let me know. So seasons, you said you were at the wrong address, and we just spiraled into other things. Talk about this address that was the wrong address.
So the thing about it is right, I have a great ex-husband. And I have a great ex-husband in certain ways. He was always the man that I met. And at that point in my life, that's what I needed. Who he was, but he never grew to be different. So for me, I say it was the wrong address because I don't want to get cheated on. I don't want to walk inside of a room and wonder who else my husband is sleeping with. That's not my personality. It doesn't work with how boastful I am and how, like, when I walk somewhere, I'm confident in it. I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to speak. I'm going to say hello. You can leave. You can put me in a room of people that I don't know. I'm going to know about 100 people. They're going to be like, I met that girl, Shaunell. She was all right, you know, but I don't want to go in rooms and wonder, oh, she cute, he's sleeping with her. Oh, I don't want to do that. And he never wanted to grow to be anything different but who he was when I met him. So
he was the guy when you met him who was he had many women.
But he was married when I met him, and I never knew he was married. He used to say that was his baby mama. I found out after we was together 3.5 years. And at that point, I should have said, okay, I should exit out of here. That was red flag 1, but we don't pay attention to that because now we live together. We traveling all over the world. Financially, he was the greatest thing that has ever happened because we on private jets. Like, he has his stuff together, you know, financially. But the discipline in him, as far as the discipline I would prefer in a husband, because somebody, he got a girlfriend, he got all them things, so she's okay with whatever that discipline is, right? For me, as I grew up, because I tell people I met him when I was 20-something. So as I evolved and grew, that wasn't good enough anymore.
It's not conducive to your lifestyle.
It just didn't work. It didn't work for me. And to be honest with you, if I'm going to catch something, I want to be slutting out here for it. I don't want to catch it and I'm at home cooking dinner and doing all these things and taking care of kids and all of this stuff. If I'm going to have a prescription for a pill to take, it's going to be because of the choices
that
I made. Not because of somebody else's choices and I'm sitting here being loyal. So I tell people all the time, God was tired of me using the excuse of, I don't want to do it by myself because I'm not really a girl that like to be alone. I'm like, why am I single? What are we talking about? But the meat and potatoes of it was, I didn't want to catch something. Women were saying they were getting pregnant for him and all these different things. And it was just like, enough is enough. And so so for me, I say, when was I going to look in the mirror and think I deserve better? And then when I realized that I had to get rid of a lot of people that didn't fit in with where I wanted to go and how I wanted to feel in life. And so it just didn't work. And so he would always say, if you don't like it here, anybody will want to be here. So when I would say something like, you shouldn't do that. Like if you come home, you leave at 6 p.m. and say, I'm going to be right back. And you get home at noon the next day. Bro, where you been? Ask me a question when you decide to pick up a bill around here. I said, oh, I see where this going. So that was when we first got together. So I said, you know what? And people like to use that I used him. I did not use him at all. I loved him dearly. But I knew that I didn't want to go back to how I was living. So I went to college for everything. I started every business I can start, baby. I was getting me some money of my own is what I knew. And I said he was going to pay for it too. He loved the drive I had and all that different stuff. So whatever crazy idea I came up with, how much it cost, Shaunell? All right, have a good day. I probably won't see him the whole weekend. I'll call him, can I get $30,000? Here you go. Wow. He might be on the yacht with somebody else, but he was going to make sure I had that $30,000. And that's what I'm going, you got to pick the good stuff instead of saying like the real bad stuff because you can dig deep and go down a spiral with what's wrong with a person. For me, in the season I'm in right now, he made sure that every college degree I got, and he used to pay me $10,000 a month to go to college. So now
it was a purpose.
It was a purpose.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. And it's somebody else, like you said, who was probably completely fine with all the other aspects because they also are on their journey and they're like, who cares if he's messing around with somebody else? Doesn't mean anything to me because he's taking care of what I need. And that's all that's important.
Because people look at finances as the only thing, but you can feel like you're in prison because somebody is giving you finances. I don't want a man just because he have no money. Don't come here broke. Let me say that again. Don't come here broke. But you have to have more than that. What's your discipline level? What's your communication skills? In the Bible, they said Eve was made from the rib to be the helpmate. What am I helping you with? Smoke weed all day? Go party all day? Go do drugs all day? Go sleep with women? If I am truly meant to be your helpmate, I need to see what you're doing. And if you're not doing nothing, I can't help you with nothing.
This is very deep. We know. I mean, I've said all this on this show a million times. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just amazed that you've been through so many different things and you have this level of spirit. Because that's a level of abuse to be in a relationship. Like that's a level of it's mental, when you tell somebody if you don't like here, somebody else will be here. So I know that's a level of mental abuse. And to see you, so I get it now. So how is it now? You've left that relationship and are you in a relationship now with anybody?
No. Well,
are you dating?
I told you I can't say it on here because I don't want the people to call me. But I told y'all the man I just met, and then I told you what happened with the man. I said, see. The guy don't want me to go on no dates.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
He said, I'm just not ready, and I'm okay. So for me, I'm really grateful for the great things that happen. People say, or I had a bad day. No, I had a bad moment in the day. When I was headed here yesterday, while I was at the airport, my flight got delayed 2 hours. I said, you know what? I canceled all the stuff that I had planned yesterday when I got here. I had all these things. And I told my friend today, I could have looked at that like, oh my God, I got to cancel this. I'm supposed to be somewhere. But I said, God, tell me why I'm sitting at this airport for 4 hours. Make me understand, what am I supposed to be doing, because you have me still. So there's greatness in being still, right? So when I was supposed to be in the air, somebody was breaking into my school.
Wow.
Breaking in. So my alarm going off. I'm watching them on the camera. I'm on my other phone I didn't call 911. I didn't told ADT call 911. But that's why God delayed my flight. So I told him, I said, tell me why I'm being still. And he showed me, if I would have been in the air,
You would have
the
missed
police wouldn't have been there. So I left the airport. I said, you know what? Let me go fix this and handle it. So my friends, they were like, oh my God, everybody is so disheveled. They like, why are you not disheveled? I said, do y'all not see the magic that just happened? I would have been in flight. These people took one thing or two things because they heard that alarm, and I was able to send the police, and the police was there within so many minutes, right? If I would have been on that flight, they could have wiped me out. I'm grateful because I was able to leave the airport. I can catch another flight. So I had to pay for another flight because I had to go into JFK. I said, but I had the finances to take care of it. I had to purchase an emergency window, do this, do that. And guess what? It's somebody that happened to somewhere, and they didn't have the finances to cover it.
Oh, we know. We have a young man who has a business in Atlanta, young man who's, just a great young man. I don't want to say kid because, the 20-something-year-olds don't like to be called kids. And his store has the same thing. He's had break-ins twice. The first time, I don't remember what happened, but the second time, they literally took a truck and rammed it through the wall and the door to get in, to steal his merchandise that he's building up as like a 27-year-old guy. He's building up his merchandise and out there, trying to do the right thing. And one thing he said to me that I just, my heart, he said, this is the plan.
Yeah.
This is it. If this does not work, there is no other plan.
Yeah.
So therefore, he had to keep going back, because some people they would just be like, this is the second break-in, just forget about it. But to your point, purpose aligns.
Yeah.
And if you keep on pushing through, you can make it to the other side. I want to ask you this, though. Did you post about the break-in yesterday?
No.
So see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. It ain't
what
what it's supposed to be, because people have no idea that happened.
Well, somebody broke in a month ago,
Oh,
too.
my.
So this is the
Atlanta,
second
wow, what's
break-in,
happening?
and they broke. They ain't got no money.
And the money
breaking
from
in
the
'cause they
scams
broke.
is ran out.
It ain't nothing to scam.
You can't scam no more because these people, the technology is better. So they can catch it. Technology has advanced. I want one of them little robots that make the bed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna wait till other people test it out first. But generation 3 or 4, I might be signed up for it. But people are having a hard time.
Yeah.
Right. And so was I upset? I was upset. You get upset as a human. But in that moment, I was so thankful for God to delay that flight so that I did not get wiped out. But I was also very appreciative that he gave me the armor to handle the day. So when I wake up in the morning, I say, God, give me whatever I'm supposed to have, because it's all the process in which you're going to become great and get to the purpose. It's already planned out. It's heartbreak. It's tears. It's pain. It's all these things. Weapons will come against you, but they won't form, right? But I was grateful for the ability to handle it. That means he gave me a full armor so that I can handle everything that came to me that day. And guess what? I still got on the flight. I didn't get here at 7 p.m., but I got here at 3 a.m. I lead Bible study on Tuesday nights, and I do a prayer on Monday mornings. So I then went to Ephesians to find where it says that God gives you the full armor. So you be tired. I'm tired right now. I was wore out. I was all sorts of things. I was freezing cold. But guess what? I still was able to show up and do what needed to be done. So that's just another part of the story. God gave me that problem yesterday. He allowed me to have grace in the solution and fixing it. And then I was able to share it with the people this morning that may have been going through something. So when I prayed for them this morning, somebody was like, oh my God, I needed to hear this. I had such a bad day. And how you got through your break-in is showing me that I can push through as well. So God gives me things because he know I got a big mouth. I'm one of his big mouth kids. I'm going to tell the story, but I don't make it into a social media thing. So it's not, oh, they broke in, because I ain't calling the insurance company or nothing. But here's the thing,
though, the success of what you built is on social media.
Yes.
And then you see, that's the only point of the series. It's not to say that you should do that. It's just to say that people get, what is it, a glimpse? How
people base their lives off the best 30 and 60 seconds of yours, like you said. So they look at your page, this is goals. Right, and they just want the gold. They want the things.
But they don't see the things
They
that
don't
happen.
see the pain behind it. They don't see the tears. They don't see the lights almost going off. They don't see the 8,000 flip. They don't see none of that.
Well, so on my page, I tell them all of that, but I don't tell things
they don't really listen,
in real
though,
time.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but so for me, I have to process the break-in before I can pick up my phone and record in glass everywhere, because it's still my business and my baby.
It's a violation.
It's still, so then I'm still processing
That's
that.
right.
So when you are still processing something, you don't share it with other people, because somebody gonna say because Instagram is treacherous, baby. Somebody gonna say that's what you get because you think you got it all together, and that no. I need to process this. I need to fully understand what happened, and then I share it. But I just don't always share in real time.
But a lot of people don't share, and there's nothing wrong with not sharing it. It's just that what we're trying to explain to most people is that because you don't see the work, don't mean that the work is not happening. Because you just see LeBron score 50, you don't see every practice. You don't see how many jump shots that Steph Curry took. Like, unless somebody told you that he takes over 1,000 jump shots a day, that he practiced shooting half-court shots and three-quarter shots a day, 1,000 times a day, you think that you just can go out there and throw up and you're going to hit that. And people don't realize it's way more behind the scenes.
Yeah. And when the hard moments come, they don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do with it because they haven't prepared for it.
But I show those things and I tell that to people, and I think that's why like my mentorship does well. I have something called Elevate Her, and there's a lot of people that's in there. Like on my Bible studies and my prayer line, there's over 400 people registered for it. You know, so it's like they know that, but you also have to protect yourself. So sometimes when you share things too fast, people start to praying that something else happened. You know, or people start to praying. So like I tell people, I share a lot of stuff now after the fact, after I really know what it is, because when you even share your ideas in the beginning, there's somebody that's following you that don't want that to happen. They can be, God don't give it to her, a devil come. So I try to talk to God about everything and then be like, okay, now it's time.
Here's what it's
share.
Supposed to be the message, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To know what are the things that people need to hear and what's some of the stuff that's not important, might be confusing, may make somebody feel like they can't do it. You know what I mean? Like you really have to have the discernment to make the message strong enough that it brings people closer to success versus making them feel like running away. It's powerful. Before we go, because I feel like we could sit here and talk about all the aspects of not just business, but life, which is really the whole point, that life is happening while you're building your business, while you're building your brand, while you're becoming, you're still living. But I want to know about the specifics of the things that people can go and purchase from you, or, you know, ways that they can get your intellect and your brilliance.
So I have a platform, a community called Elevate Her. We even have men in there. I called it Elevate Her because my focal point is always to develop women. But men sometimes actually join because they're like, I just love you. I just want to hear your perspective on this or that. I have that. And it is where we meet once a week. And we just talk about entrepreneurship. We talk about business. If they need vendors, whatever it is, they need personal life or business life, I help them get to the next step. right now in Elevate Her, we're trading. So we're learning how to trade. We're learning how to build generational wealth. And it's actually going pretty good. I'm really excited about that. But every 6 to 8 weeks, we change what it is. So that's what I do with that. For my beauty company, it's called Coil Beauty, and that's coilbeauty.com. And then I have Coil Beauty Institute, which is the school, and it is coilbeautyinstitute.com. I even have a one of my top selling products that I brought here for you.
Oh, cool.
Because you're gonna love it. It's something called squalene that you put on your skin. It helps with aging. It helps with hydration. It just gives you that extra glow.
And this is your product.
It's
How
my
many products
product.
do you have?
Over 20.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a full skincare line, an anti-aging skincare line. I have all the different oils. We sell lipsticks, lip liners, and stuff. So coilbeauty.com is a full beauty brand. And it focuses on skincare because I own an aesthetic school. And it's an accredited aesthetic school because people be saying I own a school and the state don't know nothing about it. When you come to my school, after 9 months, you can go sit for your test to become an esthetician. Or if you are already an esthetician, you can come to become an aesthetic instructor. And that is a 6-month program. So we're actually giving people trades that they can then jump into the workforce and make pretty decent money. Everybody isn't like me to go to college and do all those things. That's not the road for everybody. So I'm giving 9-month opportunities, 6-month opportunities to women. And we get a lot of people that's been in corporate. Honestly, and I'm tired. I'm sick of this. I want to make a little extra money because now corporate isn't giving raises or whatever it is that they're doing. People are not happy with it. So people are actually coming to the beauty space and are like, teach me how to do what you're doing, because they do see the success part, but they also see where I didn't have a great day, or they also see the blood, sweat, and tears. We just had a 6-year anniversary for Coil, and I made all these fancy videos, and I didn't post one. And I literally at 3 a.m. was still at Coil on the day it was 11/11. And I said, y'all, I made all these fancy videos. I have this whole spread. I say, but this is what it looks like. It's literally the last video, I think, on my Instagram. This is what business looks like. I'm still here at 3:47 a.m. on the anniversary, getting the process together, getting the logistics together, because whenever we have a big sale, stuff starts to fall apart. So literally, I was there and I showed them that. So to your point, I showed them the bad also. I showed them really what it takes, because they'll see me. I can go to the Hermes store. I can go to Van Cleef. I can do all those things. They like that part. That's why they come to the community. But they also see, baby, it's hard out here. This is not for the weak. You have to have a strong back and shoulder for this. So I literally paid $4,000-$5,000 for a shoot and all this content and use none of it.
I have been told by my son that I'm currently in trouble for not posting content that I have. For me, I think one of the reasons why I'm careful about what I'm posting and when is because I could be so excited to post something and then find out that, people are hungry, or 300,000 Black women have lost their job. And here I am twirling around and, everybody's having such a good time. And sometimes it feels very off to be trying to promote this while we as a collective community are trying to figure out what's the direction forward. And ever since this particular administration has been in place, I haven't felt the same about social media. I'm not saying I don't drop a cute picture or a video on there, because of course sometimes you're just in the mood for that. But I also have recognized that the level of discipline that it will take me, I ain't talking about everybody else, to focus on how do we see our way through this. It just has taken me it has made social media not be as attractive to me as it used to be. So I know, but that doesn't mean I'm not still clicking and popping and doing and moving and making it happen. It's just that sometimes I just don't always get to post the video.
Well, I tell people, you also got to be mindful of other people. So, and sometimes with all these people losing their job, I don't need to be posting that I'm in my greatest season. It's not to be hidden, but sometimes it's not for everybody else either.
And in that moment.
So, and in that particular moment, I might use them for next year.
That's right.
That's what I tell people. It don't say the number. I'm going to just use it another time. But to your point, you're right. When I heard about those 300,000 women,
It's about 600,000.
I made a video that said anybody that wants to come to my school who just lost their job, you can come for free. You just have to buy your kit and you just have to do. So that's still a thing. If you have lost your job in 2025 because of what's going on, I call it y'all Uncle Donald. I don't know him, but y'all Uncle Donald, then at least I can do my part, because God gonna make sure I have something. He's gonna make sure, and I have to have that school if people are there or not. So they have to purchase their kit, which is only $400 and some, but the full tuition is gonna be on me. That's the least I can do to help back.
Well, from Until Freedom, let me tell you the commitment. If you find somebody that can't pay for their kit, but they need to get into school, we will cover at least two people's $400. So,
see, we need to make an Instagram. Now that's an Instagram post.
we need to
We
gotta
need to
do
make.
it. We got to do
Yeah.
it. At least if we can help somebody, because shoot, $400.
That's a lot in this season.
Baby, let me tell you something. $400 is real. Like
Yeah.
and we are so used to, as they say, you use this phone to tap, tap, tap. The little kids be like, use your phone. No,
Yeah.
it's money. It's actually cash.
Yeah.
So for somebody, they might have $400, but that $400 could be used towards something else. And so that's a commitment that we will make, is that we can at least cover two people's kit so
Yeah.
that they could get in your school.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make that a post. They will love that, because I get so many single moms and different things like that. And I tell people
gotta be serious.
but I vet them and I make sure, because you don't need your kit until month 4.
Oh,
So
Lord.
you have to pass until month
That's
4,
good.
because you don't need a kit until it's in person. So half of my school is online. So all of our theory, Georgia allows me to teach them on Zoom. So that makes sure they don't have to show up. But our practical hours are in person. If you are failing, you don't need this kit, because you ain't even going to make it there. So that's how I know who's serious and who not, because people drop out way before it's kit time.
Yeah.
But the people that sustain until kit time, then that's how we know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, we can have this interview all day. You have beautiful energy.
Thank you.
You know, your story is amazing. I can see why people come to you for mentorship, and you know, you just have a healing energy. You know, you're one of them ones that they, as we say.
It was developed in pain, though.
Listen,
I tell you
we
that.
all
It was
went through it.
developed and birthed
Trust me,
in pain.
I know exactly what you mean, because my story is crazy. But just seeing you come out on the other end of whatever you went through, the pain, and seeing this person that's here before us right now is just amazing. So just
Thank
keep
you.
being great.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Shaunell Robinson Kennard.
For now.
For now. Because
That is my ex-husband's last name, and God has been telling me that's not your name no more.
the
So I
address
don't
was
know.
wrong and the name going to change.
And I fought for that name. That name cost me over $500,000 in court. But right now, for who I am, I don't want to keep telling the story, because I have 2 last names. So people are always like, what are these names about? I want to let that go. And I think I'm now at a place where that's not my name, that was yours, so I can give it back.
You know, I know people who really, the name is a big deal. I'm
is.
telling you, I heard an older woman say one day, she said, I paid for that name in blood.
I did.
I'm keeping that name.
And that's what I told the judge. I said, I'm keeping it. I fought a year and a half about my name and my company. They tried to take my whole company from me, his attorney. And long story short, my divorce lasted 3.5 years.
Wow.
It cost 6 figures in the high. 6 figures. Jesus. But God gave me my first business so that I can pay for my divorce and come out on the other side of it. He didn't give me that money to save. He gave me that because for 3 years, Coil, I couldn't run it because his attorney was saying that was his company. But because I filed a trademark before we was even in a divorce, the judge was like, well, why you not on this? But that took discovery. That took a whole
And
lot of
cost money.
time and
And it
cost
cost
money.
money.
So what I will say, any entrepreneur, baby, get that trademark. That trademark
Of all the
saved
things, that's right.
my business. But then you still have to now try to get your customers back. But that's a whole nother interview. That's a whole nother.
I mean, you a part too.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But literally, I was shut down for 3 years with Coil Beauty, which birthed Coil Beauty Institute. I said, well, I'm opening my school. You want to take my products, you can't take the knowledge that I have to teach people how to be great.
But you still have it all.
But then I ended up getting it all back. So everything I fought for, I actually lost in court. And then when we was walking out, I said, God, you know, the judge told me, you have so much. Even if he get half of it, you have more than me, and I'm a judge. I say, well, what does that mean?
Jealousy, wow.
What you
From
a
the
judge,
bench.
but what does that mean
Jealousy
exactly?
from the bench.
But my ex-husband walked out of there. He said, I don't want none of that. I actually purchased all of the stuff that I have myself. My ex-husband didn't give it to me. I didn't pay bills, so I had money to purchase it, but the judge gave him all of it. And he walked out. He said, I don't want none of it. And that was God, because even what they call it, the gavel, after the gavel hit, the decision was final, but that's not the final decision when you serve a God that I have. And my ex-husband barbershop, he signed the papers over and gave me everything that I purchased myself.
Wow.
So
he's not terrible.
He was never.
No, I was just at the wrong address.
It was the
That's
girl.
an address for somebody.
I gotta see, because that'll preach there. I might need to put that on my, I do at least one sermon a year. I'm not a preacher, but somebody always asks me to come speak on a Sunday in a pulpit, and I'm like, why me? And I always try to come up with something good. It's the wrong address.
It's the wrong address.
So, and let me get my name. God bless
I'm
you,
letting that name
Shaunell.
go,
Thank
though.
you so much for coming and talking with us today. It ain't what it's supposed to be, but it is.
It is.
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank y'all for having me. This was amazing.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all. So I'm Shaunell, as y'all know, owner of Coil Beauty and Coil Beauty Institute. And I wanted to share with you guys our top sellers for 2025. Okay, coming in number 1, baby. Y'all did not play with her, okay? Y'all did not come to play when it came to the double chin reducers. They are 2 for $12, and the girls ate them up. Second, we have our new anti-aging skincare kit. It comes in 4 pieces. You get a cleanser, a toner, a serum, and a moisturizer. Of course, y'all know baby squalene. If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. Squalene, all I'm going to say is just Google it. How about that? And then last but not least, these two came kind of neck and neck, so I wanted to share them. These are our glosses and our hair stimulator. So happy shopping. If you guys need some stocking stuffers, some Christmas gifts, or just a little gift on a Tuesday, click the link in the bio. We will be happy to see you at the checkout. See y'all later.
Shout out to Dr. Shaunell. She is amazing.
It's Dr. Shaunell runs circles around people, honey. Child, please. That lady,
man.
I was sitting there. I was so intrigued while the interview was going on, because I was thinking to myself, that I know people say, she's too much. I can't take her. She knows
That's
that.
what I was trying to tell. I'm like, when I'm listening to her, well, let me get her full name. Dr. Shaunell Robinson Kennard. But she's saying that she's ready to move away from the Kennard. But just listening to her, right, I know that the average individual man is going to have some level of intimidation, because she's clear of what she wants. She knows exactly how she wants it. She's asking questions. She ain't scared to say this and that. So just listening to her, I know that, yes, like you said, some man's going to be like, she too much. I can't deal with all that. But it's amazing just to watch her just move into her purpose and just speak.
She's doing really well. I mean,
she's
I'm
doing
told
really
that
well.
she's like
She's doing really, really well.
financially good.
Oh, no, she's good, man.
We never did get an answer. We were talking about so many things about how construction became a thing and what kind of projects she works on. So she's a part 2. We got so many part 2s.
Yeah, we got some part 2s. So since we talking about finances and we talking about, being able to survive in life, that brings me to my I don't get it. So I've been watching ever since, the shutdown, and people been talking about SNAP, and we were talking about healthcare, and people have to choose between eating and healthcare, right? And that was just crazy for me that was actually a conversation. And based on that conversation, a lot of things started to be revealed. And you started hearing people saying, well, nobody should be getting SNAP, because you want the government to take care of you, get a job and this and that. And we realized that most people who are getting SNAP benefits actually have a job, right? And
a lot of people.
Well, I think a lot. There are a very large percentage of individuals who have jobs who are still getting SNAP benefits.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we talk about healthcare. I believe, for me, that every individual should have healthcare. Like, I don't understand why people think that it's a luxury, that you're supposed to work so that you can have healthcare, that you should be able to survive. I think if you're sick and you go to the doctor and the doctor can save your life, and it shouldn't be based on how much money you have or don't have. I just don't even understand the concept. We live in one of the most advanced countries in this nation, and
really,
supposedly,
that's what they
we
say,
live in one of the richest nations in the world, and other nations provide free healthcare. Like this is a normal thing. They have free healthcare, and I don't understand why people believe in our country that it shouldn't be free, that people should not go to the hospital and be diagnosed with illness, and they have they have an opportunity and they have resources to be able to make sure that those people live, and it shouldn't be based on how much money they have.
Somebody's gonna say, who's gonna pay for it?
The government.
But how? How does the government pay for it?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like when we all paying taxes, the taxes should go that we all should be able to survive. Everybody. Like that's what it is for me. It just doesn't make sense that that's not what it goes for, because they spending billions of dollars here. A country could come in and say, yo, we need this, and they can say, okay, we're gonna give you $20 billion. Oh, you need $20 billion? Okay, you got war. We got $100 billion for you. We got $40 billion. Everybody gets some billion.
Israel is living large.
They live in large, and they have free health care there, right? So the thing for me is that because that Americans who actually live here don't understand or even see the need that we all have free health care. If I'm making $1 billion, I want to put my money into making sure that thousands or hundreds of thousands of people are able to survive. Like, why wouldn't I want to do that?
You like the guy that I love to watch his video when he says, who's going to pay for the children's health care? Who's going to pay? Me. Yeah. Me, I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah.
He's like, if some kids get extra pizza on me in the school, they get a free pizza.
Yes.
Me, I want to pay for the free pizza.
I want to pay for, like,
I don't want to pay for war in Yemen.
My whole life's existence is to be able to have enough resources to be able to provide those who don't have resources with resources. Like, that's what I don't understand people that want to hoard resources and have way more than they need and tell somebody else, well, I don't want my tax money to go. Like, that's the craziest shit I've ever done. I mean, I've never heard anything that sounds so remotely crazy and fucking batshit crazy to me. So now when we talk about being able to survive, and when you talk about surviving, we talking about wages. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about how much it costs to be able to survive, based on the CNBC's analysis using MIT's living wage calculator, it says it takes about $75,000 on a low scale to be able to survive.
National.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, when we do the federal analysis based off the minimum wage, federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, which equates to about $15,000 a year. Now, if you make $15,000 and living wages equates to about $75,000.
Right, that's a livable wage.
That's a livable wage. Mm-hmm. You can nowhere near survive. Now, when you take the numbers for New York City, it doubles it, right? They say the minimum wage in New York City is $15.
New York State is $15.
In New York State,
yeah,
it's $15.
Yeah, because the city is $16.
City is okay, so you double that. You get about $30. But you know how much it costs for you to have an actual living experience inside of New York?
Yeah, well, it depends on who you ask. They say comfortably.
$277,000.
No, but for real.
No,
because
I
you have
know
to
that.
take two incomes and put it together. Now, okay. That's why I asked you, was it the white folk calculator or is it
I don't care
black?
who calculates. Listen to me.
If about 150,000 you could survive in New York.
Okay, let's say 150,000. You only got about 31, 32. How you supposed to survive without the SNAP benefits? And then you got to pay health care out of that 32. Who gonna survive off that? I'm just trying. I want to make me understand how people supposed to survive. And you talking about crime, and people say, "Oh, you got to get." People got a job. They got a job.
What's the job? What you
whatever
mean?
job they got that make this $15,000 a year, that's their job. Mm-hmm. Some of these people is doing more work than the people that's making $200,000 a year.
This
$300,000,
is true.
and they making $7.25, or they making $15 an hour, and they probably doing more work than a person that make $300,000 a year. And you mad at them because they got the SNAP benefits. You telling them they lazy because they ain't got the SNAP benefits. I know people that's working construction every day, lifting, carrying. They don't bring home $1,000 a week.
Mm-hmm. I know some people who work construction make a lot of money.
I know some that don't make a lot of money.
It's true. It's levels to it.
It's levels, right? Because you got the foreman and all, the one who own the construction business. He making a bunch of money, but he paying them people about $1,000 a week, maybe, on the high end.
$1,000 a week is a lot.
It is.
You can survive if you make $1,000 a week.
And you got a kid
in New York.
If you got one kid, how you make $1,000? If you make $1,000 a week in New York, the average rent in New York City is about $3,000 a month.
That's not true.
It's not.
Janice is like, yes,
in
it
New
is.
York, yes, it is.
Nah. Y'all bugging. Y'all people
You
live
talking about
too
the
high.
projects?
Y'all living too high. Nah.
Okay, let's say 25. Let's say 2,500.
Nah, it's about.
About
okay,
what?
all right.
Let's say anywhere between 2,000
$1,800 is a one bedroom somewhere.
Okay, maybe it's okay. So let's say 1,800.
Mm-hmm.
You make your rent is 1,800 a month.
Yeah.
Right? Your rent, that's alone, because that ain't light and gas. That ain't a phone bill. That ain't food. That ain't clothes. That ain't car fare to get to work.
Oh, car fare high.
Car fare is the highest thing in the world.
It really is. And people will say, well, $2, whatever it is, $2 and some change. It's $3. They'll say that's not a lot. But I know people that it's expensive for them to get that Metro card every month. They go spend $300 a month getting their Metro card. It's a lot.
That's just if it's just
you can't have no car.
That's just if it's just
bugging.
you.
And if you have a car,
because if you got a 2-bedroom and you got a dependent that you got to take care of, a kid that go to school and he might have activities.
Well, and then
he on the basketball team, you got to pay for the jersey. But
if you layer on top of that, that the child has some type of disability or you have a disability, that's another thing. If you layer on top of that the child or you have an allergy, like Janice over here can't eat anything, so she has to buy the most, not expensive, but the best or
the highest quality.
Most quality, right? Because some people could just eat the American cheese. Some people cannot put that in their body at all.
I can't do it.
So it's tough.
It's rough.
And then you need a phone for survival.
Yes.
And phone bill. I thought that phone bill, I be seeing all these advertisements that say your phone bill $20 a month.
That's a lie.
It's the biggest scam, bruh.
There's no such thing.
Yo, y'all never watched the TV where the thing say that the phone, you could get you a phone from this company and say it's $20 a month
but the
for
phone
3 lines.
But the phone costs $100 a change because they making you pay for the phone every month because the phone be like damn near $2,000. So they take that out of it, and then every line you add to it, they keep on. I got 3 lines on my phone, and my phone bill is $300 and change every month.
You got the wrong. You need to go back.
Back
Because
to
I'm
where?
telling you, to the company, because they say it's $30 a
No,
month.
these people is lying.
My phone bill is high,
Yes.
and I don't have no service. I think it's my phone, but you know them people, them people, but none, quote unquote, them people. But I'm just saying it is expensive,
It's
and
way
if you
too
work in a
expensive.
place where it's a 2-fare zone, Some people, when they get off, this is real. There are people that there is no third fare to get them to where they're going. So in other words, when they get off of a bus or a train,
Uber.
No, for real, or walk far, because there's places where there's nothing,
It's
no
a dead zone,
transportation to take you to the final destination. You got a lot of people who are really struggling. It's really hard. But
It's rough.
And they said in New York, $270,000 to live comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a lot of people that they're not necessarily living comfortable, yet they are comfortable. So they might be probably, people make 80,000 and they find a way, but they don't have any money.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They don't have any money and they don't have any dependence. That's something that you can live off. If you're a bachelor or you're a woman by herself, and you can live off $80,000. You can figure it out.
Why do you keep saying that? That is not true. There are people who live in New York City right now that's making that's making $50,000, $60,000. They do.
Who are you talking
Am
about?
I wrong?
Yes.
No, yes they do.
Tamika, you're bugging.
They live.
No, they
you want me
don't.
to tell you the areas?
Where?
Because I know for a fact.
In New York City?
Yes.
No way.
Yes, they
Hell
do.
no. What areas they live in?
They live in
projects?
But they live in some of the old South Bronx.
That's not New York City. You talking about in the projects.
No, I'm not talking about. First of all, New York City includes the Bronx. New York City is the whole.
Right now, if you going
boroughs.
to only way it is if they grandfathered into an apartment, right? If they mother or something been living in that apartment for 20 and 30 years and they got rent stabilization and the rent don't go high, cool. But if you try to get an apartment right now anywhere in the Bronx, it's between $1,500 to $2,000 just for a one bedroom.
So you saying they need subsidies?
Exactly.
52.
It ain't nobody just living off no $50,000 that ain't by themselves. The bottom line is this: the minimum wage and the livable wage do not add up. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work for nobody.
And we paying the billions across the seas and
they
over
got
here
billions
and
of
down
dollars,
there.
and y'all keep saying why do people need the SNAP benefits, and you lazy because you need the SNAP benefits. We live in America, the richest nation in the world supposedly, and we can't get health care. People supposed to starve. Y'all mad at the kids that go to school and get free lunch. Like, they don't want the kids to get free lunch. They supposed to be in there starving, and you don't want to feed the kids.
The kids need breakfast, lunch, and a snack on the way out the door.
They need dinner too. You need to be able to send them home with dinner because everybody might not eat. What I'm trying to tell you is my tax money. I want my tax money to be able to fully supply the youth, the elderly, and
any other
the
struggling.
poor. Everybody everything that I give to the government, I want it to go to the people that's needed, that are less fortunate. I want the less fortunate to be able to benefit from anything that I do. I do not want my tax money to sit in and y'all split it up with y'all tax cuts, or y'all giving it to the war, or y'all giving it to Israel to fund whatever they got going on, or you giving it to the nations that's MAGA, the Argentina. I don't want my money to go to that. I just don't want it. That's not where I want my money to go to. So I just think
you could build a ballroom, but they would say it's private.
it's private. Yeah, but that's what happened.
It's still your money.
Because you know where the private money, why the private money comes? Because you done gave the billionaires $1 million tax cut, so they able to throw you back a couple of dollars.
So you saying they taking kickback?
They taking kickback. Well, that's all it is.
You best be allegedly.
Allegedly, that's what happens. If I'm in a room with all my billionaire friends, and say, don't worry about it, we're going to get the best tax cuts. You're going to get 20 million, 30, 40 million. And then they say, hey, and about 50 of them say, we're going to throw $2 million to support you. You say, hey, look.
It was private.
Right? It's all private. Like the game that these people is running, but you can't take your food stamps and make a pie and sell it. You going to jail for it.
That's something.
Lord have mercy. These people get me stressed out, man. So that brings us to the end of another episode. I want to shout out again Dr. Shaunell Robinson Kennard, soon to be removing the Kennard.
Oh my God! Okay.
That's what she said. I'm just trying.
Why do you keep? Because she might decide to keep it.
I'm telling you what she said. She said that it don't fit her no more. That ain't the season she in, and she was at the wrong address.
She was at the wrong
That's what the lady
address.
said. That's what
God
she said.
bless.
So, I want to shout her out. Make sure y'all follow her. She's doing amazing things. She's going to come back up here, and we're going to have a part 2 of that interview because you're right. We didn't even get the answers to the questions that we actually needed.
Well, yeah, but we got some other stuff.
We got
so
some
it's
stuff.
good.
We got some stuff. Make sure y'all continue to follow us on Instagram at TMI_show. And if you want to follow us on YouTube, it's TMI Show PC. I'm not going to always be right. Tamika D. Mallory's not going to always be wrong, but we will both always, and I mean always, Tamika. Come on.
Mysonne,
Be
leave me
authentic.
alone.
Salute.
Peace, y'all.
That's how we own it.